Hello everybody, how are you? I'm Christian and this is Canguro English and this is a live class. I hope that you are all well, I hope that you are all happy, and I hope that you are having a fantastic Tuesday. Tuesday is not my favorite day of the week. I think this is normal, but Tuesday is a good day because we are having class, and I'm not feeling tired because it's the beginning of the week. So Tuesday is a nice day, So I can see that to start with, we have a student from Iraq. Hello, Chalak. Very nice to have you in class. How is the weather in Iraq? Is it hot? I imagine that probably it's very hot. Is it raining? Is it dry? Tell me. I'm very curious. I'm here in this live class to answer your questions about English. So if you have any questions about grammar or vocabulary or pronunciation, then please ask me and I will try to help you. Now, I would like to start with something that somebody asked me in a previous live class. They asked me to describe the difference between although and so. And last week it was really difficult. I couldn't think of how to describe although and so. So I have been doing some reading and I've been doing some thinking, and I think that now I can describe this for you. So basically, the difference is that although is to show a contrast, to say that this thing is different from this thing, or that this thing has a negative effect on this thing. It's about contrast. But so means that one thing causes another thing. We have cause and effect. So let's look at an example. So I studied a lot, although I couldn't speak. So this means that you studied a lot, but in the end, you couldn't speak. Okay? So we're saying we have the contrast. You're studying a lot, but you're not able to speak. Okay? But so is the cause and the result. So you studied a lot, and because you studied, you were not able to speak. So although is for contrast, and so is for cause and effect. Hopefully that helps to explain the difference between although and so. I can't remember who asked me this question in the last class, so yeah. Okay. Hello, everybody. So yeah, you're saying you're from Kurdistan, and you're saying that it's not hot. Okay. What temperature is it? Is it like 20 degrees or 10 or? I'm curious. Tell me. We have somebody from Portugal. I think some students from Pakistan, from Vietnam. Okay, so let's do some questions. So the first interesting question is from Bakumotov Ivan, and he's asking, when you look at a word, how do you know which vowels are schwa? Okay, fantastic question. So the first thing is, do you know what schwa is, everybody? Okay. Schwa is the most common sound in English. The most common, the number one sound in English. Okay. And the technical name is schwa, but I call it the zombie sound. Because to make this sound, you have to be like a zombie. Okay? So basically, your face is relaxed. Your jaw is relaxed. Your tongue is relaxed. Everything is relaxed. And you just let the air pass. Okay? So this is the most common sound in English. So basically, any unstressed vowel in English is schwa. Any unstressed vowel. Okay, so this is a fantastic example. Okay, the word banana. Now, where is the stress in this word? Well, we have our first stress b, okay, and then we have the second stress here, okay. Banana, banana. Okay, here's our stress. So that means that here we're going to have the ah. You see, my mouth is open. Ah, ah. Like when I go to the doctor. Ah, huh? Okay, I'm making an effort. But these two vowels, okay, this A and this A will be schwa. Okay, schwa is like this, basically. Well, okay. So here we have zombie sound, zombie, and here we have zombie sound. So in slow motion, it's like this: banana. And that's why this is something that you can practice to sound more natural in English, to practice your schwa, okay? Like maybe if you are Portuguese, you will want to pronounce all of this like banana, banana, with your mouth open, okay? But no, two of these are zombie sounds. Banana. Hopefully that helps, okay? Any unstressed vowel, schwa. For example, another one. Let's have another look at another one. So, where is the schwa in this? Can anybody tell me? Well, here, okay? Here we have the schwa. Because here is the stressed vowel. So this will be o, do, do. But here we have schwa, zombie sound. So it's doctor, doctor. Okay? The only difference between British English and American English is that in American English you would pronounce the R sound. Okay? So you would say doctor, and at the end you'd say your But in British English, no, nothing. We end only with schwa. Doctor. Hopefully that was interesting to you. Hopefully now you know that any unstressed vowel is schwa. So yeah, so practice your schwas. It will make you sound really good in English. Okay, so Natik says he has a question about managed to. So yes, please tell me what your question is. Managed to. Okay. So I'm going to tell you something interesting about could. Okay. Could, maybe you think that could is the past of can, right? Maybe you think that could is the past of can. No, could is a completely separate verb to can. Can and could are not related. And I'll give you an example why, okay? So, can is a semi-modal verb, okay? Semi-modal. But could is a true modal verb. So what's the difference? The difference between a semi-modal and a modal is that a semi-modal has conjugations, but a modal verb has no conjugations. Okay? And you'll see when I write the examples that they're completely different. So if I want to use could in the past, okay, I have to use present perfect, like modal verbs. So I could say, I could have gone, for example. Okay? But you can see there's no conjugation, just could. If I want to use this for the present, could. I could go. So here we have past and present and future. For the future, again, I have to indicate the future. There's no conjugation. I could go tomorrow. Okay? I cannot say will could or going to could. It doesn't exist. Okay? So you can see this is the conjugations for could. But can, yes, can has conjugations. Can is different. For example, in the past, I could go. Okay, this is the past. I could go yesterday. Here, look, we have a conjugation for the past, and it's different. Look, could have, could, it's different. And then for the present, well, I can go now. And the future, for the future, we can substitute can for be able to. I will be able to go. So look at the difference, okay? Can and could are two separate verbs, okay? Now, another one which is similar, another option which is similar is managed to, okay? I managed to. Oh yeah, chalk. Okay. So, managed to basically is a synonym for can, synonym for ability, okay? Like, but managed to is ability in a specific situation. So, this could be, normally, can is ability in general. Like, for example, I can play football. I have the ability to play football. I can play the piano. Ability in general. But if it's ability in a specific situation, we use able to or manage to. So there's a little difference, okay, a little difference between general ability or ability in a specific situation. So imagine that there is a fire, a big intense fire in your house. You could say, I managed to escape. Okay? I managed to escape. Or you could say, I was able to escape. So hopefully that explains the difference between can and could, and also manage to and be able to. Okay? Okay, so let's look for some more questions here. Okay, so Mooney or Mooney, your name is very interesting. From the Yemen. Hello, hello. I don't know anything about the Yemen. When I think about the Yemen, I just think of like mountains and desert. But tell me more about the Yemen. Obviously, you have YouTube, and it looks. Tell me more. I'm curious. Okay. He wants to know what is the difference in pronunciation between won't and want. Okay. Okay, so in this word won't, okay, we have the letter O just like the alphabet. Okay, so it's O. And you can see my lips are round like the letter. O. But also you will notice that this is a diphthong. Okay? What is a diphthong? A diphthong means that the position of our mouth, okay, changes during the sound. So this is not one mouth position, it is a moving position. So when I say this sound, watch my mouth, it goes, oh, oh. And it's very important to have this movement. There are lots of vowels in English which are diphthongs, which have the movement. Okay, so this is won't. Won't. Can you see my mouth moving during the O? Okay, it starts big and then it gets small. Okay, won't. Whereas this one here is not a diphthong. Okay, this, depending on the position, probably is schwa, zombie sound. Want. So totally relaxed, no movement. Want. Want. Okay. Now this is also an interesting opportunity for you to practice your W. Okay. Now, the W sound is very interesting in English because technically it's a consonant, okay? But in reality, the sound is a vowel. So it's similar to A, E, I, O, U, and then we have W, okay? So how do we make the W sound? Well, it's very important that we have the kiss. It's very similar to a kiss, okay? W. W. So, and you can see again that we have the movement. So we start open, and then we come to the kiss, and you can see look, W. W. So my lips come forward, and they come in, just exactly like a kiss. W. Okay? So this is want. Or want. Coming together, coming forward. Want. Okay? So you can practice at home. Practice giving kisses. Want. Okay? And remember that there's no voice, the tongue is not activated at the back, okay? It's want. Tell me if you have any more questions about this pronunciation, okay? Okay. Marielle, thank you for dropping by. The class will be online. Marielle said that she can't stay, but you can watch the video later. And thank you for dropping by and saying hello. Okay. Um, David was asking if it's possible to use past perfect and then use the present tense. Absolutely, okay? You can start a sentence with present perfect, okay? But remember that psychologically, if I start a sentence with present perfect, psychologically I am relating to a previous time. And I think your example sentence is really good. Oops. Never seen a kangaroo. What did you say? I've never seen a kangaroo before. Okay. So this was David's example sentence. Okay, he said, I had never seen a kangaroo before I visit Australia. Okay? Now, so he's starting the sentence with present perfect. So that means that I know that seeing a kangaroo is before another event in the past. No problems. You can start a sentence like this, and it's not necessary to say the other event in the past. It's not necessary, okay? Because of the context, or because of it's a reply to a question, okay? But there is a problem with your sentence, David, is that if you use present simple, I visit Australia, then remember that present simple is for something that is true, something that's true, for example, I am Christian, I live in Spain, or the present simple is for something that repeats, okay? But in this case, visiting Australia is not something that is true or something that repeats. It's something that you did in the past. So we must say visited. We must. We have no options. Okay? So now the sentence is perfect. Okay? But let me give you another example. Okay, with past perfect. Never seen a kangaroo. I've never seen a kangaroo. I've never seen a kangaroo. Okay, I have to write a completely different sentence. I've never even had a pizza until I had never eaten a better pizza until today. So in this case, I'm not actually using a subject and a verb, but you can see that I am not using any other sentence with past simple or present continuous or anything. This sentence is perfectly good. It's not necessary to mention another time in the past. So hopefully that answers your question. Please tell me if it doesn't. Okay. Okay. So Thriller Black Boy, great name Thriller. He was asking about the IELTS exam and he's asking about the best way to improve his reading. And he says, is the best way to improve my reading to read more? Yes, I think so. I think definitely. Because really, reading is an activity that you do internally, okay? It doesn't require pronunciation. It doesn't require grammar, okay? Because you are absorbing. It's passive. You absorb the text. But probably the number one problem you will have will be with vocabulary, okay? So what you can do when you're reading is, if you see words you don't know, look them up in the dictionary. Find out what they mean. Or you can stop and think about the context. Like, okay, what does this word mean in this sentence? What are some possibilities I could imagine? Okay. So reading, the objective of reading is to absorb language, passively absorb language, and improve your vocabulary. So get curious, ask yourself about vocabulary, get your dictionary, look online, and then you will improve your reading a lot. Okay. Today I just finished making a class about the best way to learn English vocabulary, and so I will upload it this Friday, and you can see my my opinions about the best way to learn vocabulary. Hopefully you will like it. Okay. So Carlos from Argentina has asked me to explain in a short and a sweet way conditionals. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. So, we have 4 types of conditionals in English. The zero conditional, first, second, and third. Okay? And actually, it's very easy to understand the conditionals. Okay? So, the zero conditional is for things that are true. Things that are facts, that are true. For example, if you look at the sky, if you look at the sky, it is blue. It's a fact. The sky is blue. If you look at the sky, it's blue. It's true. It's a fact. The first conditional is for things that are probable. Things that are possible. Okay? So, for example, if it rains, I will take the umbrella. Or if I go to the park, I will play football. Things that are probable, because it might rain, it's possible to rain, and it's probable for me to go to the park. They are things that are probable, okay? But the second and third conditionals, they are for things that we imagine, okay? Things that are not real. They don't exist. We are imagining them, okay? Imagination. So, what's the difference between the second conditional and the third conditional? The difference is that the second conditional is now, okay, now, and the third conditional is always in the past, always. Okay? So, if you are talking about something in the past, okay, then you only have one option. Only one option. It can only be third conditional. But otherwise, we have all of these. It could be true, probable, or imaginary. Tell me, guys, do you want me to tell you about the structure of each one? Or is that sufficient? I don't know. This one is present plus present. This one is present plus future. This one is past plus would. And this one is past perfect and would have. Okay? But remember that you can substitute any of the second part of the conditional, the apodosis. You can substitute this for a modal verb. Okay, so for example, imagine that I want to use the second conditional. Okay, and the rule is if past, then would. So if I won the lottery, I would buy a Ferrari. Okay? So I think this is a typical example of a conditional. If I won the lottery, I would buy a Ferrari. So this is second conditional because I'm imagining it and I'm following the rule. Okay? Past. Chalk. Past and then would. Okay? But I can substitute this for any modal verb. So I could say, if I won the lottery, I could buy a Ferrari. Or if I won the lottery, I might buy a Ferrari. Or if I won the lottery, I will buy a Ferrari. Okay? So that's why sometimes you see a conditional and you think, okay, wait, why do I have past and then future with will? This is not following the rules, okay? Because we can substitute modal verbs like this, okay? So the important thing is, when you're learning conditionals, is don't focus so much on the structure. If this, must this, must this. Think about why. When do you use the conditional? If it's true, if it's probable, if it's imaginary now or imaginary in the past, okay? Hopefully that is a quick and sweet explanation of conditionals. Please tell me if you want me to talk some more about this, or maybe it's very boring for you, I don't know. Okay. So Javier was asking me, and that's why it's correct. He was asking about the difference between because and cause. Okay. So, you know, English, the same as all languages, people want to speak in the fastest way possible. Okay? People basically are lazy. They want to speak as fast as possible. So, if we can eliminate sounds when we're speaking, then we do this. Okay? So sometimes people don't say because, they say cause. And you can write it like this with an apostrophe to indicate the missing letter, or you can put only this, cos, C-O-S. A lot of people write like this, cos. And this is called an informal contraction. Okay? There are lots in English, like for example, want to is wanna. And going to is gonna. These are just two examples. But if you listen to native people speaking, then they love to use these informal contractions, especially when you have two sounds together. Like want to, we eliminate the T's. The two T's come together and then poof, they explode and disappear. Okay. Okay. Hello to Ian Park. He's asking. Where are I? Oh yes, Ian was asking about how often I have these live classes. At the moment, I have these classes every Tuesday at 1 o'clock Central European time. But maybe I would think that I will continue like this. I don't know. At the moment, Tuesday. Okay. Um, so Daniel was asking the difference between those and these. Okay. God damn it. I have a technical problem with my chalk. Okay, here we go. Okay. So it depends on your native language, okay? But most languages have pronouns to indicate distance. So, for example, if this is here, if it's very close to me, I use a different pronoun than if it's very far away. Okay. And some languages don't have this. Some languages have a lot of different pronouns. But in this case, we have four in English. Okay, four. This, that, these, and those. So this and that, these are singular. Okay. And these and those are plural. And the difference between these is basically the distance, okay? So if something is very close to me, like this, okay, and it's singular, I would say this chalk. But if something is plural, like for example, this packet of chalks, okay, I would say these chalks, because they're close to me. Singular this, plural these, okay? And then this is singular far away, like that chalk. Or plural far away, those chalks. Okay, so we can say close and far. Close, this and these, and that and those far away. Hopefully that answered your question. Please tell me if it didn't, and I will explain some more. Okay. Ian was asking me about the difference in the sounds between must have been, would have been, and should have been. Okay. So these are the three example sentences that Ian gave me. Okay, so must have been, should have been, and would have been. Now, again, as I was saying, we like to use the contractions because it's faster to speak. Okay, so we eliminate the H and the A. Okay, we eliminate this because to say the h sound in the middle is very complicated. So we use the contraction, okay? So we say must have been. Okay. Now, something very interesting and something that gives you an indication of how native people speak is that some people, when they are writing on Facebook or writing text messages, they write this. Should have been. And the reason they do this is because the sound, the pronunciation of this is very, very similar to of. Okay? But why? Now, remember that in English we have voiced consonants and unvoiced consonants. Remember the difference? The difference is that unvoiced is no activation here of the vocal cords, but voiced is activation of the vocal cords. So technically, okay, an F is unvoiced. Only air. Okay, we have labiodental like this, okay, and but V should be voiced. Same mouth position as the F, exactly the same, but we're activating the voice. Okay. So here, why would a native person confuse the V here and the F here? The reason is that turning on the voice and turning off the voice quickly is very difficult, even for a native speaker. So that means that the end of this word, the D, which is voiced, continues here, okay, to this F. So if you listen, they say should've, okay, should've. So the sound, okay, the sound here continues with the voice. So I hear v, should've, okay, but the end of this word, which is T, which is not voiced, the sound is more like F, must've. Can you hear the difference? Okay, so basically here I will hear the V, because my voice will continue. But here, where there's no voice, the sound will be more like an F. Okay? But as I always say, in reality, it doesn't make any difference if you say f or v. Okay? The important thing is that you have the correct mouth position and you produce something that I can hear. If it's f or v, it's not too important to me, okay? The important thing is that you produce something, okay? Hopefully that answers your question about why sometimes it's must've or should've, okay? Please tell me if you would like me to explain some more, okay? So, Jader or Jader is asking, what is the difference between toward and towards? Okay, so here are 3 examples. Go toward the shop, go towards the shop, or go to the shop. So, toward and towards, there is absolutely no difference, okay? This is just a small regional variation. In some parts of England, they use toward. In some parts of America, they use toward. Other people use towards. They are both correct, they are both in the dictionary, they are both perfectly acceptable variants, okay? But what's the difference between toward and to? Do you know the difference? Okay. So to indicates the destination. Okay? So go to the shop. The shop is the destination. Okay? But towards only means go in that direction. So I go towards the shop, in the direction of the shop, but maybe the shop is not my destination. Maybe my destination is the bank. Okay? So hopefully that answers your questions. Please tell me if it doesn't, and I will explain some more. Wow, Mooney says that in the Yemen they have the best honey. I actually really like honey. I think my favorite way to eat honey is with some Greek yogurt, and then honey, and then you mix it, and oh, it's just. Why is the honey so good? Because of the flowers you have in the Yemen, or maybe the type of bees that you have? I would love to taste the honey from the Yemen. Okay. Okay, so Natalia was asking about how to pronounce the letter A in English. Well, unfortunately, English has a lot of different sounds for each vowel. Okay? So the letter A could have various different pronunciations depending on the word. Okay? And the reason for this is because of the complicated and very confusing history of the English language. Basically, the people that were writing the language down didn't write the language in the way that people pronounce the language. Okay? They wrote the words differently to the pronunciation for lots of different reasons. Okay? So the letter A could be sometimes A or A or A. Okay? So, and also, of course, the pronunciation depends on the region. Like in Scotland, it will be different to Texas, it will be different to Australia. So it's not easy to say to you, okay, you pronounce the A like this in this word and like this in this word. What you need to do is you need to think, okay, what variation of English do I want to learn? Do I want to learn American English pronunciation? Then focus on that, okay? Focus on that and listen to media in that language, like American news, American podcasts, American television series, and then start to focus on some words that contain the letter A. You know, you can think about it like a scientific experiment. So find the word table, and find the word table in a podcast, in a series, maybe even on YouTube there are Americans saying the word table, of course. And focus on the word, listen to the pronunciation, and try to copy this, okay? And then maybe then look at an English person pronouncing the word table, and try to perceive the differences, okay? This is the only advice that I can give you, okay? Is to focus on what you want, and then just absorb and practice those sounds, okay? Giannina was asking, what is the difference between get in and get into? Great questions. Great question, okay. Now, technically speaking, okay, Get get in we would use without an object. Get in is this here, okay? This is a preposition of movement. So to get in is to enter, okay? You're entering something. But here you can see there's no object. Get in what? And that's fine, no problems. Like maybe you are telling the story about your car. You lost the keys to your car. You can't find the keys. So you say, I lost the keys to my car. I can't get in. Okay, perfect. Because I understand from the context of your sentence that you can't get in the car. So we use this. But if you're using the noun, the car, then it's obligatory for you to put to. So you would say, I lost my keys. I can't get into the car. Okay? So, now, that's the difference, technically, if we follow the rules. Okay? But there are lots of native speakers who use in this situation. Okay? They say, get in the car. And that's absolutely fine. Okay, it is an example of native people breaking the rules of English and speaking as they want. Okay, so I would say that if you are writing an exam paper or if you are writing something very formal, I would follow this rule. Get in, no object. Get into something. Okay? But in reality, in general conversation, in everyday English, you can use both. Okay? You can use whatever you want. Hopefully that helps to explain the difference between get in and get into. Okay. So Maximed was asking, what is the difference between go ahead and go through? Another good question. Okay. So I think when we think about the difference between these two, I think we can remember one thing, okay, which is head, okay? So this is my head, and when I am walking in one direction, I use my head. My head guides me. My head takes me. My head is at the front. So go ahead means go forward. Go in this direction. Follow your head, okay? Follow your head. So go ahead, go forward, okay? Go through is different. Through is when we cross from one side to another side. Okay? So here we have an object. It could be a park. It could be a window. It could be a classroom. Okay? And when we say through, it means we go in one side and then we come out the other side. So I can go through the park, in one side of the park, out the park, in the park, out of the park. Or the window, open the window, go through the window, okay, close the window. Or the classroom, I can walk through the classroom from one side to another. Hopefully that explains to you the difference between go ahead and go through. Okay, please tell me if it doesn't. Okay. Jay Jutichod from Thailand. Hello from Spain. I really would like to visit Thailand one day. I think it would be an amazing country to visit. She was asking, or he, I don't know if you're male or female, sorry, was asking, how can you respond to how are you? So yeah, if I ask you, how are you? There are so many different ways to reply. And I think probably the most common, of course, is good. Okay? Good. But maybe this is a little bit boring. No. Everybody says good. Maybe we can find some new vocabulary to make it more interesting. How are you? I am fantastic. I'm incredible. Or maybe you're not good. Maybe you could say, well, I'm so-so. So-so. Or you could say, I am okay. Okay means like I'm not good, not bad. I'm okay in the middle. Or you can use a more complicated idiom. Like maybe you could say, you could say, I feel like a dog's breakfast. So, what does this mean? Well, normally a dog eats dog food, and dog food is disgusting, right? So, if you feel like a dog's breakfast, that means you feel bad. You feel like horrible. You look horrible. You know, it's so become curious about some different ways to you can respond to this question. Look online, or next time you're watching a film in English, or you're listening to a conversation in English, just see what people say when they say how are you, okay? Because there are infinite possibilities, okay? Okay. So listen, we only have 3 minutes of class left, only 3 minutes. So I'm going to look at a final couple of questions. Okay. Okay. Vania was asking how she can transform the sentence into a question. Okay, so she wishes she lived in a big city. She wishes she lived in a big city. She wishes she lived in a big city. Okay. Okay. So this is the sentence that Vania wants to transform into a question. Okay, perfect. So if we want to make a question, the first thing is we have to decide what is the verbal tense of the sentence. Is it present tense, past tense, future? What is it? So if we look at this, we can see that we have present simple. Here we have she wishes, present simple. So our question will also be in present simple. Okay? So I will show you two types of questions you can use in present simple. The first type is with the auxiliary, the standard question. Okay? So we could say, does she wish, etc., etc.? Does she wish she lived in a big city? Okay, this is a standard question. Or you could use a question tag. A question tag, like this. Now, a question tag is when we have we have the first part of the sentence in affirmative, and then we have a little tag on the end in the negative. Or if we have the first part of the question in negative, then the tag at the end will be in the affirmative. Okay? So you could say, she wishes she lived in a big city, doesn't she? Recently, maybe 2 months ago, I made a class about how to ask different types of questions. So you could go and watch this class and you will learn all about the different types of questions in English and how you can make good questions. Okay, so it's 2 o'clock here in Spain, and unfortunately this live class now has to finish. I'm sorry that I didn't get to answer all of your questions. I had a really fantastic time today, a really good class. You guys gave me loads of really good questions, and I hope that I was able to help you. I hope you understood me, and I hope today that you learnt something interesting. Thank you all very much for watching. Don't forget that all of you are the reason why I get out of bed in the morning to come here and teach you guys English. So thank you very much for watching. I'm Christian, this is Canguro English, and I will see you in the next class. Bye.